Hello, hello, hello. Oh, man. It was slippery. It's fine. Hi, Lindsay. Good evening. Jeez, I'm smoking the shit out of us in here. Okay, let's put that near the window. Holy shit. Gonna set up the smoke alarms. We just got new smoke alarms too. And these smoke alarms are really good, which is wonderful. But when I'm doing my hair in the morning, my hair thing must steam. Hold on 1 second. And therefore it sets off the smoke alarms. So let me tame this down a tad. Whew, jeez. Okay. Ah, it smells good though. It smells wonderful. How are you tonight? How are you tonight? I noticed that I have these classes a little on the later side, so I might look at moving them up a little for the upcoming classes. Because there's all different kinds of time zones. So I don't, there's a flame that fell way down in. There we go. Okay. This one little guy's good. There we go. Okay, whew. Saved the day. Put on my glasses so I can see what's going on. My hair stuff isn't, oh, my tinsels? Or I got red now. I went with red. I like the red. I was feeling red because, you know, usually I match my dog with the purples and blues, and instead I did reds and silvers, like the grays to match my hair. I left my silver stripe. It doesn't look as silver, but anyway, I'm excited to be here tonight. I was trying to wait a little bit to see if anybody else would find us, because I know sometimes it's hard to find, but the link worked. Clearly you found me from the link, correct? Is that supposed to say, oh, thank you. I thought you were trying to say jealous, because I talk to text all the time, and everything comes out wrong. Somebody was saying the other day, they're like, oh, I wish I could do my hair the colors, but my hair color or whatever. I'm like, mine is too. My hair's very dark, but it's the extensions. That's how I get my color. Then I can be all the colors. I can be like a rainbow if I want to be one day. I did have an oil slick once. It was pretty cool. And your cloak is in, so I will send you your invoice. Let me get my things together and we shall start. I'm also going to see if I can tag people real quick. Although I'm not sure. Woohoo! I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. I want to ask so many questions, but let me just go through things real quick before we get started. To ask questions. We are doing session 2 tonight. Meeting the shadow with compassion. I need like a little desk table that's as high as me to put here. And I gave you guys a PDF that you can print out in the Coven subscription, and you can follow along with your shadow, or with your book, I'm sorry. These glasses are too big for me. They're my husband's, and they keep falling down. Hi, buddy. Okay, that's what I wanted. I wanted that one. I've got my notes. And then... Okay, I got everything in the correct order, I believe. I'm going to quickly open a circle, cast a circle. I keep saying open a circle, cast a circle. When you open a circle, I have to say, do you ever cast a circle? Geez, Georgia, do you ever get that feeling like when you go down with it after casting it, it's just like a really beautiful feeling that kind of goes out, like emits outward? Does that make sense? Because that's kind of the feeling I get, like when I bring it down like this, I feel like a wave pulsing out, kind of like you see a water drop, and it's, does that make sense? It's actually really beautiful. I like that feeling. All right, let's get started. Are you ready? It's just me and you, girl. Okay, shadow love. Exactly like a wave, right? I feel that too, and it feels really nice. I thought that one I could really feel. That one really went out far. So I'm going to welcome you like I already did. I'll welcome everybody, replayers. That's what I wanted to welcome, any replayers that are going to watch this, because this will stay up. As you guys know, I always leave these up so you guys can come back and either revisit them, or if you weren't able to join, I got to turn that light down a little bit. It's casting a glare. You can always rewatch it, which is nice with YouTube. And if you guys ever get a link that doesn't work, just let me know, and I can always fix that somehow. I'm learning the behind the scenes on YouTube, and it's getting better. Now, we did our recap. I'm not sure if everyone watched the recap of our first session. Every Wednesday, we are going to go over a recap of the previous session that we went over. If you didn't, I suggest you watch it. It's just kind of go over our feelings, talk about if you all went through with your healing exercises, what you felt doing that, what came up for you. So it's kind of good because it segues into 2, which is the meeting the shadow with compassion. Now, as we know, the shadow work can bring up some really tender emotions. You know what I mean? It can really, it can bring up tears. It can bring up fears. It can bring up dreams. We had someone, excuse me one second. Maybe if I move it this way, it's right in my face. There we go, that's a little better. It's a glare, but it's not as bad. Maybe if I go over, I need phone. Wrote that they had a nightmare afterwards, and you know, it was a pretty intense one, and if that was normal. And it definitely is normal doing this work. Moving forward, you should know that, because sometimes your shadow's going to rear up. You know what I mean? We are doing shadow work. Your shadow doesn't want you to do some of the work, or you don't want to do some of the work in reality. Hold on one second. Anyone. I'm not just saying you specifically, but anyone. Okay. That seems to be a little better. And the glare is still there. It's like, how do you hide from that? But anyway, let's move forward. Tonight, we are meeting those shadows not with judgment, but with compassion. Compassion is the bridge between shadow and healing. I'm parched this evening. But you see, I wasn't that late. And because I wasn't that late is why I keep grabbing things, because they're things I forgot. And don't mind me, here at Life as the Altar is the altar. It's Life and Oliver, maybe ringing the bell to go outside or barking or anything. Q. Sleep paralysis, that was me. That was you, yes. Find the acknowledgement of it. That's good. And that's something I did want to talk about. That's why I brought it up, because it is normal, and those are some things that you may go through, because like I said, your shadow is going to kind of fight you on this, because it's things that we don't want to talk about. It's things that we don't want to face. It's things that are extremely hard to face, and maybe we don't want to go through those feelings. So within our dreams, we're going to recap what we went over. You know what I mean? Everything's going to replay. And then, does anybody do astral work here? I'm just curious about that, like within your dreams and stuff. I am curious about that, because dream work is a whole nother thing. And there's so many things we can do within dreams. And I don't want to go down rabbit holes, so I'm going to stay on course. Sorry about that. But it's definitely normal to have those kind of things. But anyway, moving back into tonight, we're going to meet the shadow with compassion. Compassion is the bridge between the shadow and healing. And before we get started too, let's take a minute. This is what I want to do, and I think we all need to do this. I already saged. I cast our circle. Let's take some nice deep breaths and center ourselves. Take a nice deep breath in. Hold. 2, 3. Breathe out. Do one more breath in. Hold. Breathe out. And as you're doing this, feel your roots grounding into the ground, connecting, relaxing, melting in, getting yourself ready. One more breath in. Hold. Breathe out. Okay, I really felt the need to do that, so clearing things. We're in a safe space. You are held. Okay. Oh, I feel better. That was much needed. Hi, Missy. How are you? How are you, darling? The first thing I want to talk about is how compassion is the foundation to healing. Sorry, just getting my notes in order. I'm actually pretty in order tonight, believe it or not. I shocked myself. Shadow light can feel heavy because we're shining lights on the parts of ourselves that are hidden, that we hide, that we don't want to bring forward and deal with. If we meet them with judgment, we reinforce the shame that put them in the dark. But when we bring compassion, gentleness, patience, and kindness, we create safety. Compassion is what allows the shadow to step forward. Think of a child, I think we talked about in this last one too, who's afraid. Judgment makes them hide, but compassion invites them closer. I know, me too. I'm glad you're here. And my question too, and I hope you all have your journals so you can journal and write down, because I'm going to have questions as we go. And again, feel free to you can connect on here and write your answers on here, or journal them privately to yourself. Tonight we are going to be doing a little connection with others too. I believe I have this. This is the second session. You'll get there. Um, so, where was I? My question's to you. When you hear the word compassion, what do you think of? Hi, Zoe. How are you? And you can either put that out here or you can write that to yourself. How do you treat yourself when you make a mistake? Are you forgiving of yourself? Are you compassionate with yourself, or are you mad at yourself and angry at yourself? And, kind of play it over your head what you could have done right. And you're like, oh my goodness. How do you feel? Do you meet it more with judgment or with a compassion? Compassion and kindness. That's good. That's really good. Me too. And what would it feel like if you gave yourself the same compassion you give to someone you love? I think about that often, actually. I really do. Because I've actually said to someone before, and I do feel this sometimes, is I love hard. I'm a hard lover. And I always will be. And I've never had anybody that loved me as hard back, you know what I mean? And it's like, when you learn to love yourself as hard as you love others, it's an unconditional love that opens up a lot of doors, if that makes any sense. And where was I going with that? I'm trying to read and do this at the same time. Sorry about that. I tend to beat myself up when I make mistakes. I have to treat myself the way others when they make mistakes. I tend to beat myself up when I make mistakes. Exactly. I never treat myself the way I treat others. And you should, and that's where it's at. When you make mistakes, tell yourself it's okay. You know what I mean? Because it is okay. We all make mistakes. And within those mistakes, we learn to grow. You know what I mean? It makes us who we are today. If none of those mistakes ever came into our lives, we wouldn't have had that to learn from to grow to who we are today, if that makes any sense. And I was telling my son this is where I was going with that, is because he's always looking for love. And I said, nobody will ever love you the way that you can love yourself. And it's so true. And that's where I was going with that, is it opens up all these other doors. And I went for so long in my life looking for love, not looking for love, but just wanting that love that I gave, basically, you know what I mean? And it's like I had such a hard time in life finding the love that I gave, I guess, the way I wanted to be loved, because I treat people the way does that make sense? And even to this day, and then until I realized that I can only love myself the way I want to be loved, and as hard as I want to be loved. And yeah, so I try to teach that to my son as well. I'm like, you're never going to find that as much as you can love yourself. Am I making sense? I find myself going like this right now. I make mistakes all the time, and that's the thing. We all make mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes, God, I make mistakes constantly. If you guys had any idea half the mistakes I made, you'd be like, oh my God, Georgia. I make lots of mistakes. And some mistakes I have made in my life, which I'm sure many of you had too, were huge mistakes. Mistakes I wish I could have gone back and fixed. You know what I mean? Mistakes I'm like, if I didn't do that, maybe this wouldn't be like this. But you have to forgive yourself for that stuff and know that within those mistakes, there was growth and you learned something. And you have to thank yourself for learning that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? You have to love yourself and thank yourself, because it does truly help you grow. Love and hugs to you too. Have a great night. Good to see you, Missy. Shame keeps us stuck. That's another thing I want to talk about. Shame definitely keeps us stuck. Acceptance transforms. So once you accept yourself for the stuff that you shame yourself for, you can unlock those doors to move forward. And many shadows are born from shame. Maybe someone told us we were too much, too loud, or not good enough. That shame made us tuck away those parts, or that shame made us tuck those parts away. But shame keeps us stuck. It keeps the shadows buried. The moment we accept these parts, we begin to transform. Acceptance isn't saying we're perfect. It's saying, I will hold all of me, even the parts I've rejected. That's where healing and wholeness begins. And it's very true. You have to love the parts of yourself. I say this over and over again, and I will say this all the time. You have to love every part of yourself. And even though it's hard and there are parts of yourself that you hate, you have to love that part of yourself. This is why the mirror exercise was so important to me in the first session. Because, and I want you to continue that too. I don't want you to stop that. I want you to continue that because that is super important to me. I feel through the mirror, we really connect with ourselves. You look into your soul, you really talk with yourself. You hear yourself, you know what I mean? Because lots of the time you listen, I'm sorry. Lots of times we hear a lot of things, but we don't actually listen. Do you know what I mean? We hear it, but we're not listening. So, and feel free to talk too. But talk it out with yourself in the mirror. Your mirror can be one of your best therapists. You know what I mean? One of your best therapies. Even in the car, don't forget, we have the rear view mirror. I did give you guys like a part to keep up with so you could write down your answers on your journal or have a sheet to go along with what I'm talking about right now. I believe I sent a PDF and it's in the chat section of the Coven subscription. Okay, so let's take a deep breath, and I have a couple more questions. Again, you can also write these down in your book, or you can, if you feel safe enough, you can write them down here. Can you remember a time when you felt ashamed of a part of yourself? I want you to think about that and really be honest with yourself and write that down in your journal. And once you write that down, how do you think that experience shaped the way you see yourself today? And as I pause, I want you to take time to write your answers in there, in your book. Oh, I thought everybody was. I'll fix that. Don't worry about it. I'll get you. And then what would it mean to replace shame with acceptance in that memory? And you also have to remember that emotions are not flaws. Emotions are not flaws at all. They're signals. What was the question? Oh, I'm sorry. Am I going too fast? If I'm going too fast, please let me know because I can always slow down. I'll ask the three questions again, because maybe I did go for a little too fast. Can you remember a time when you felt ashamed of a part of yourself? Like, put yourself in that moment. Remember that time. How do you think that experience shaped the way you see yourself today? For me, I was younger. I'm not going to go into that, but it was a situation. And ever since that, I always looked at myself differently and was self-conscious. Do you know what I mean? And I carried that into my adulthood by, subconsciously doing things like, covering myself, or, you know what I mean, get my belly or something because I was heavier. So there was little things like that. Just an example of what I kind of went through, one of the little things. And what would it mean to replace shame with acceptance in that memory? And like I said, once you accept those parts of yourself and love those parts of yourself, it's just a great feeling. You don't have that shame, and you don't want to hide, and you feel whole, and you just, you feel it's okay, if that makes sense. And then I was going into emotions are not flaws, they are signals. We're taught to label emotions as good and bad. The thoughts, like evil and sad. Happiness, excitement, love, those are praised. Anger, sadness, fear, those get pushed away. But emotions are not flaws, they're signals. Anger says a boundary has been crossed. Sadness says something needs to be released. Fear says pay attention. When we stop fighting emotions and start listening, we discover their wisdom. And meeting them with compassion helps us understand what they've been trying to tell us. We've all been shit shows, honestly. And by accepting all those feelings, you can turn it around, And this goes back to when we're young and we meet society, and society teaches us this is bad, this is good, this is bad, this is good. And you just kind of go throughout life just, with that ingrained in you, I guess. And then once you accept that it's okay to be angry, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to feel the feels, We've all been shit shows. I tell myself I'm a fucking shit show all the time. You guys know that. Excuse my language, but I am. But I have my days. We all have shit shows. If you guys could have seen me like maybe 6 years ago, oh my God. It was even worse, man. But you have to wait, where was I? Stop fighting those emotions is what I was saying. Stop fighting those emotions. Embrace your anger, let it out. It's okay to be mad. Embrace your sadness. It's okay to cry. Because I remember being little, my stepfather. I had a stepfather who was not nice. And I couldn't cry. I was called a baby if I cried. I'd be shamed for crying. I would be shamed or yelled at if I was on the phone too long, if I was up too late. And I carried these into my adulthood by tiptoeing through the house, always saying I'm sorry. I used to say I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry. My son does it now. I'm trying to get him through it. You don't have to be sorry. You did nothing wrong. There's nothing you have to be sorry for. Now, if I dropped a bowling ball in your foot, then I'm going to say I'm sorry. But I used to say I'm sorry for the little things, just for talking over someone or something. And it's like just little things that you really didn't need to be as sorry as you. Does that make sense? As I was saying sorry for. I have a little bit of scratchy throat tonight, so bear with me. I'm like, oh, I sound like a man. But talk to yourself through that when you're going through something like that. If all of a sudden a situation arises and you start to get pissed, take a deep breath, take a step back, and just look at the situation for a second. Take your anger in and then breathe it out. And I'm telling you, it will help you feel a lot better, and let yourself know, okay, what I'm feeling is okay. It's okay to be angry. It is okay to be angry. There's nothing wrong with that. Same with sad. If you're crying and somebody makes you feel like it's not okay to cry, it is okay to cry. We have to release. It's so important. People that don't cry bottle up and fucking freak out one day. You know what I mean? You have to cry, to be happy, to laugh, the emotions you have to embrace. Learning, accepting myself every day. Yes, I was called thick, or I'm stupid. I see you. Yeah, and I mean, growing up, I was picked on very bad at one point in my life. And then there was another point in my life where I was the one that stuck up for people that were being picked on. You know what I mean? And then I kind of stayed that person, the one that stuck up for people. And many, many years throughout my high school year and into my 20s and even into my 30s, probably right up into my 40s, honestly, and I'm 49 now, is when I started to be okay with myself. I started to love the parts of myself. I started to do the shadow work. I started to embrace the good or the bad with the good. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay that I did this. It's okay that I have stretch marks. I had a kid, man, and it's worth it. It's okay that I'm just talking about all the little things that weigh on your mind and stuff like that, that we bring ourselves down for. And it's okay that I, am this and that. You have to just really start to be okay with the parts of yourself that you hate because you feel shamed, because when you were a child, you were shamed for those things, or however that worked for you. And it's not easy work. It's not easy to look in the mirror and say, oh, I love every part of me. It's not. It takes a bit to get there. There's days I fight through it. There is. But there are days that I do love a lot of parts of myself. I do. I think the parts I don't love about myself that I'm working on are that I can't set boundaries. I have a very hard time setting boundaries with people I love. It's one of the biggest things, and that's the hardest for me, I believe. And I have to work on it. I have to work, and I don't love myself for that. I mean, I don't love that part of myself. I'm like, I wish that I didn't. I wish I could set boundaries and stick with them. You know what I mean? Instead of giving someone so many chances and seeing that potential, you know what I mean? And just getting hurt, because I always get hurt in the end. So it's something I've tried to work on actually for a couple years. And this one, for some reason, is so hard for me, is the boundaries, because I don't know. But I'm getting there. Working with the dark goddesses, believe it or not, is helping me a lot with my boundaries. Kali, I believe, is the one that really kind of stepped me out of my shell with that. One step at a time, you know what I mean? And then you find things that work with things that kind of help you through things. I think we're always doing the work. You know? I always think we're doing work, definitely. Probably to the last day we take our breaths. Did I do 3? I did, okay. Okay, so now get your journals ready. And we just talked about all these emotions. So which emotions have you been told are bad or too much? And this can be present, it can be the past. Man, I need better glasses. So which emotions have you been told are bad or too much? And when you feel anger, sadness, or fear, what's your first reaction? To judge it or to listen. Yeah, she did me too. And if you guys would like to bring these back to the recap or talk in the subscription group, if you feel like that's a safer place about your answers and stuff, feel free. The group chat is a cool place too to kind of talk about the Dark Goddess Circles and these classes, if that makes you feel comfortable. I just want you guys to know that you're in a safe space and be able to express yourselves and what you're experiencing going through this. Again, when you feel anger, sadness, or fear, what's your first reaction? To judge it or to listen? Oh, I hear you, Lindsay. When I was younger, though, when I was in my early 20s, I think, I was very sassy and I had a little wild streak in me. I always have a wild streak in me, but it only came out when it was, provoked. Yeah, I've always been told I was loud. I've always been told I was too loud and aggressive. A lot of those things. And you know what? I fucking know it. I love that I'm loud. I love that I'm aggressive. And if people don't like it, and that's where I'm at today in my life, you can go fuck yourself, Barbara says. Because I like that I'm loud sometimes. I like that I'm aggressive sometimes. And I like who I am. If only I could get those damn boundaries down. Barbara knows. She does. And if also I could stop drinking soda, that'd be great too. Barbara. And then finally, what do you think might... Oh yeah, I did. What do you think might shift in your life if you treated emotions as teachers instead of problems? I was just thinking that I've come a long way with the notes and stuff. I used to start out with handwritten notes, and I've been printing everything out, and it helps so much more to print things out, man. It's such a great thing. Let me ask that one more time, just in case you didn't hear. What do you think might shift in your life if you treated emotions as teachers instead of problems? And this is what I was saying before, we learn from these things, and that's how we grow. I need the notes. You have to have the notes. Otherwise, I forget everything I'm going to talk about, and it actually keeps me on track because I could go down a million rabbit holes, so I try to stay on track. Otherwise, I could have you guys for 2-3 hours here. Okay. Is this the next part of the thing? Let me just make sure I'm in the right spots. Okay. Okay, keep your journals out. Let me just put these two things aside over here so I don't lose my stuff. Okay. So, reflection questions. When you think of the word compassion, what does it mean to you? Yeah, I like that. I like how you put that. So if you're following along, you should be in the same spot I am on your little workbooks that I gave you. So when you think of compassion, what does it mean to you? And can you remember a time when you judge yourself harshly and you still may do it? It may be a daily thing for you. For instance, like I was talking about before, I used to judge my body very hardcore at one point in my life. And it was daily, even subconsciously, you know what I mean? To where I didn't even know that I was even doing it. Acceptance equals compassion to me. I love that. Thank you. I got a beautiful little healing thing. It's got the megahertz for grounding and healing for us as well. I keep everything in mind so you guys are all safe and taken care of. How would that memory feel if compassion was present instead? Okay, I'm sorry, I got talking there. So, can you remember a time when you judged yourself harshly? And how would that memory feel if compassion was present instead? And I know with my situation, if I had greeted myself with compassion instead of harshness, it would have been so much easier. It would have been so much easier mentally. It really would have. I wouldn't have had anxiety over certain things. I wouldn't have the stress of the anxiety over the certain things. You know what I mean? If I had met it with acceptance and said, you know what, it's okay. I love myself for that. That is who I am. And it's okay. It is okay. Body issues are the hardest, and I am one that has been there. And when I had my son, I was almost 220 pounds, and he's 26 now. But when I got pregnant, I was maybe all of 130, not even 130, maybe 128, 130. And I had all the excess skin. It was terrible. So for many, 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 many moons, I was super self-conscious. And, and there were guys within my life that made me feel even worse. So I always hid myself in many ways. And even subconsciously, I didn't even know. I was actually speaking with somebody about this before. I used to bartend, and because of my tummy, I would reach up and grab a glass, and I'd always pull down my tank top, not even realizing I was doing it, because subconsciously I was so afraid that everything was going to fall out and people were going to see my stomach. And it's just, it really messed with me mentally bad. And once you accept yourself for what you think are flaws, because they're not, you're beautiful the way you are, it is so much easier in life because you don't have those thoughts weighing on you. You don't have that stress. You don't have the anxiety, because it really will ruin your life. And for many, many years, I wish I did something about it so much earlier in my life, because I wasted so many years of my life, within this battle with myself of self-love and issues of the way I looked, and even the type of mother I was. I went through so many things, you know what I mean, mentally, and it's hard to get there. But once you get there and accept yourself for, it's okay, I didn't know, you know what I mean, I'm learning. We're all fucking learning in this world. We did not come here. We didn't come plopped out with a fucking handbook. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is what we're gonna do? Where we're going? No, because if somebody told me that I was gonna slide into this shit that I got to before I got to where I'm at now, I don't know if I would have signed up. I don't know if I fucking would have signed up, because there were many fucking times where I've been on my knees just sobbing. And why me? I'm a good person. Why is this happening to me? What is so bad? Because I see all these other people, blah, blah, blah. And I believe in this, and that. Why do I believe in what I believe in? I've been there, guys. I've fucking been there. Well, I have to share my experiences because we're all fucking human and we all go through it. And you guys need to know that I wasn't born here. It took a lot of work. But, and I'm still not exactly where I need to be, you know? I've learned so much. I've come a long way. But like I said, I think we're learning every day of our lives. We learn, you know? But yeah, I have been there. Even to the point where I'm like, why the fuck do I believe in what I believe in? You know, and I've been doing this since I was probably 18. I've been practicing the stuff I do with Mother Earth and nature and, you know, paganism and all that. I devoted myself to this, to nature, to the all, if you will. But I get it now. And that's the thing. Once you get it, it's like, okay. And then when shit happens, like I had a situation happen the other day and it fucking sucked. And I looked at it and I looked at them and I go, okay, I understand. I'll get through it. I got through everything else, but I understand. I get it. There's a lesson in here somewhere. And you move forward. So yeah, it's always a battle. And I think we're always constantly learning and moving and shifting and growing, you know? But you have to remember, and my mom, this is why I'm going to get the tattoo, has always said to me, because I love she's 84 years old, love her to death. You guys know my mother. Got a mouth on her. She's awesome. One with the crows. And she says, you know, grab your sword and stand the fuck up and straighten your crown to remember whose daughter you are. And I do now. And I have my moments. We all have our moments. And it's okay. And that's another thing, going back to what we're learning today with the self-compassion. It is okay to fall to the ground, lose yourself, let yourself fucking cry, let yourself go, but get yourself back up. Have your moment. Let yourself flow, let yourself go, and let yourself grow. Should be a t-shirt. But really, seriously, you know? Yep, I was obsessed with getting in shape until the teacher was concerned for me. And that's the thing. I was obsessed with getting in shape at one point too. I've tried all the diets. I've done lots of multiple exercises, and I do it now for the love of my body, my vessel, because it's the only one I got. And I want to be here a long time. I hate working out. I fucking hate it. But I'm joining the Orange Theory again, and that's the hardest workout in the world, and I'm going to join it again because I know that I'll live longer, and I know that I feel stronger. Things don't hurt. Everything hurts right now because I don't work out. T-shirt for sure. But the thing is with my ADHD, I'll forget what I said. Unless I write it down. But we can always go back. That's so funny. But God, love yourself for that stuff, man. All right, I lost track of where I was because I went down a rabbit hole. Rabbit holes are fun. I love rabbit holes. Okay, here we are, my reflection questions. So I asked you, when you think of the word compassion, what does it mean to you? Can you remember a time when you judged yourself harshly? How would that memory feel if compassion was present instead? And what emotions have you been told are too much or not okay to feel? When did I first feel unworthy or too much? We already did that. So you guys got those. And you wrote those down, correct? Make sure you had time to write. And you guys, when you're writing this stuff down for yourself, no sensory, no judgment. Nobody else is looking at it but you. Be honest with yourself. Because the only way that you are going to get through this work is if you're honest with yourself. Because if you're, oh, I'm writing down this and I'm blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Be honest with yourself to the raw, bitter truth, because otherwise it's going to be harder. It's going to be harder to do the work because you're the only one that you can really be truly honest, should be truly honest with, or You should be honest anyway, but you know what I mean. Be honest with yourself, man. Don't lie to yourself. Write down exactly what comes up to you, how you feel. All the questions that I pop at you, write it out. You know what I mean? And sometimes that shows up in being the first thing that we think about. You know what I mean? The first thing that comes to mind. No judgment, just honesty with yourself. Now, we're going to do a little meditation. And I want you to kind of really pay attention to your body during this. And I want you to watch for feelings and what you're feeling. I've got the music playing, so that should work good. I'll put this here. Okay. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath. Release. And what we're doing now is we're going to hold space. Now, at this time, when you inhale, I want you to notice any uncomfortable feelings. And on your exhale, I want you to send in kindness instead of judgment. Okay, ready? Take a nice deep breath. Inhale. Notice anything uncomfortable, any uncomfortable feelings. Now exhale. Send in kindness instead of judgment. And now I want you to say, I am allowed to feel this. I hold myself with compassion. Take another deep breath in, feeling whatever comes up for you. What are you feeling throughout your body? Now exhale. Sending kindness instead of judgment. I am allowed to feel this. I hold myself with compassion. Now, if anybody would like to feel or to express how they felt, go ahead and express it here, or you can keep it to yourself. That's fine. That felt really nice though. And I want you to take that with you. I am allowed to feel this. I hold myself with compassion. On an inhale, notice what you're feeling. On an exhale, send in kindness instead of judgment. And know that it's okay to feel the feels. And you can even say this in times of releasing, when you're crying too, when you're having that moment and you're releasing all these things that you need to release. As you're crying, as you're letting it out, say, I'm allowed to feel this. I hold myself with compassion. And let yourself know deep down that it is okay that you are to do this, and hold yourself in that love and compassion. Now, I have like a I want you to, and this is a way we can do this. I was trying to think of how can we do this because we're live and it's not. I want everybody to share. Where's mine? One reflection. Hold on. It was right in my eyeball, jeez. Oh, here they are. Oh, because I did that because of the bright light. I'm like, where's all my stuff, man? How's everybody feeling right now? You guys feeling okay? Okay. I'm like, what is that noise? There's an alarm going off in my house. Okay, so we don't have, I'm not going to do what I have written down because we're not together, like together in person. You know what I mean? So it's a little different. So I want you each to share one reflection. And if you don't feel safe doing it here on the live, we can bring this to the group chat or to one of the groups if you'd like to do it there as well. Let me know, because I want to know where you guys feel safe posting stuff if you want to. These look so funny. If you would like to post anything. Because what I want you to do, what I really would like to do so we could really be interactive in this, is each person shares one reflection. And the rule is the listener only says, thank you for sharing, and don't give any advice or no feedback. Just thank you for sharing. So we're letting that person get their feelings out, let their emotions or their reflection out, and let them share that with no feedback. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay. So for tonight, again, I really want you guys to keep up the mirror meditation. And I also would like you to, and I'm not calling this homework, I'm calling this healing exercises. I know I have it on there as like homework, but it's healing exercises. Your affirmation for tonight is, I meet my shadows with kindness. I meet my shadows with kindness. And for your healing exercise, each night this week, I want you to write a short, compassionate letter to a part of yourself judged or hidden. Now, this is really deep, and feelings might come up, and you may cry. If you want to reach out to me at all, you may reach out to me. Just message me. But this is going to bring up a lot of feelings. When we write things down, it's a very huge way of releasing, as you know. And I want you to really be honest with yourself. Like I said before, no judgment. Be honest, be open. Nobody else is going to see this but you. So be honest with yourself. Again, this work will not work if you're not honest with yourself. You have to be open, non-judgmental, and honest with yourself. So again, each night this week, write a short, compassionate letter to a part of yourself you've judged or hidden. Example. Here's an example I wrote down to give you guys kind of an idea where I'm going with it. Dear anger, I see you, I understand why you're here, and I want to listen. I hope that makes sense in how I wrote that. And there may be things that are going to come up for you that you didn't even realize. And then you're like, oh, wow, you know what I mean? But write these down each night. And when we do our recap, we will revisit this as well to see what everyone came up with, see how you're feeling, to see if everybody's doing their healing exercises. And that's really all I have for you guys tonight with session 2. Session 3, we're going to get a little deeper with guiding. Session 3, we're bringing in the dark goddesses that we actually already worked with in our reading circle. So I'm excited about that. So session 3 is going to get a little bit deeper. I'm going to have some drumming. We're going to do some journeying. So it's going to be probably a little bit of a longer session. Right now, we're just getting familiar and we're just getting started, because even after session 5, we're going to... Why can't I say session? Why is session coming out like that? We're going to go into other parts of shadow work. This is just the beginning. This is just shadow love. So continue to do your journaling. Continue to do your mirror exercises. And then I want you to sprinkle in your affirmation. Don't forget that. I meet my shadows with kindness. And sprinkle in the write a short compassionate letter to part of yourself you've judged or hidden. What is today? Today is Friday. So we have our recap on Wednesday. So I want you to do this starting tonight before you go to bed. Go ahead and do that. So that gives you Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then we'll recap on Wednesday. And if you don't have that many, that's fine. And one more thing I wanted to go over was the recap. Well, maybe that was it. Oh, I guess that was it. So get ready for Thursday, or for Thursday. I don't know why I just said that. Get ready for Thursday. It's freaking Friday. Get ready for Wednesday, our recap. And if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to reach out with anything, just let me know. You can always message me in the background and I can help you or guide you. If you need any links, I can send you the links. Just know that sometimes I am going to talk about different papers that I have sent, but those are for the Coven subscription. Being in the Coven subscription, you just get extra perks. I decided to do the shadow classes for free just because it's that time of year. I'm just starting to do classes. I want people to get a feel for how I teach, how it's going to be, what we're going to be doing. And we all need to do shadow work. We all need to do it. And I'm being pushed to put this out there. So the extra perks are on there. 101 Witchcraft will be starting in January. Sorry, I'm all over the place. It's because there's alarms going off in the background. I don't know what they're going off for. There's like all this background stuff going on. I'm like, oh, can I have one day? My ADHD is like, holy shit. So anyway, yes, there are certain papers you will not get, but you guys do have all the curriculum for the shadow work. You have session 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is a workbook on the Coven. It's just the subscribers will get the extras. Like I did give them an extra perk of extra material to print out today. And I think that's the only thing I gave them today, but they do get access. They are going to get pages to my grimoire throughout the year. That's another perk for the subscription as well. So I hope this class, I hope we feel good. I hope this helped. PDFs and group chat info. I will send that your way. Yes, as soon as we get off here, I will message you because I have other things that I have to say too that we want to talk about. I think I said your cloak keeping. I think that's what it was. But yes, thank you for joining me tonight. I truly appreciate you guys. Let's close our circle. And tomorrow's going to be a beautiful day, so I am planning on a walk in the labyrinth tomorrow. I will let you guys know further on the page, on the group page, when I'm thinking about doing that. It's going to be like 77 degrees, so I'm going to be outside getting pumpkins and mums and everything and getting my magical land set up for that kind of stuff. We have our full moon on Monday. I got to get ready for that as well. And I'm going to light up the labyrinth, so that'll be fun. We haven't taken a walk in the labyrinth in a bit, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, I think you are too. I thought everybody saw the group chat, so the subscriber group chat, so I will show you guys. I guess I'll see if I can pull you guys into it. It's all new to me, man. This is the first time I've been working with the group chats. They're new to me. And somebody suggested to put stuff there, but it's kind of working there. I can send links there perfectly, so it's great. Links as in like PDFs and stuff for you guys to print out. It's better in Messenger for some reason. But I love you guys. I hope you have a beautiful night. Oh, Do your showers if you can. If it's too late for a shower, no worries. You can do your shower in the morning, but after shadow work or any kind of work like this, you always want to, at least I will shower. If I cannot shower, I will sage myself. I also have a spray that I use as well. So there's a couple different ways that you can do it, but it's really always good to cleanse after doing this kind of work because there's a lot of feelings, there's a lot of energies going around. And even though you're here, I'm here, there's still the energies that kind of flow. So if you guys are behind there and you're letting things flow, believe it or not, I'm getting that energetically too. You know what I mean? I'm feeling you. I feel you guys more than you know. And I'm it's so important that you do that. You know what I mean? Because otherwise you can have those nightmares and stuff like that that will kind of be a little more intense. You want to definitely cleanse yourself from any energies. Use sage if you don't have the other stuff or any kind of spray. Yes, I'm going to actually go do mine right after this. I'll go downstairs, see what that alarm's for. And then I will do that. I can't believe it's only 8 o'clock here. I feel like it's so much later. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll let you guys know when I'm going in the labyrinth. Maybe you guys can take a walk with me. Love you. Mwah. Bye. And if you have any questions,